Welcome to Spark and Speak. Today we want to talk about something that touches every person on this earth. It touches you. It touches me. It touches the richest person you know and the poorest person you have ever met. It is a simple truth, but many people run away from it. Here it is. Nobody is perfect. Yes, you heard that right. Nobody. Not your favorite teacher. Not that successful person you follow online. Not that friend who always seems so happy. Not even the people who wrote the books you read about success. Every single one of them has made mistakes. Every single one of them has days when they feel lost, confused, or unsure. But here is what is strange. Even though nobody is perfect, many people try so hard to be perfect. They wait for the perfect plan. They wait for the perfect time. They wait until they feel 100% ready. And while they wait, life moves forward without them. This video is not here to make you feel bad. It is here to set you free. Free from the lie that you must be perfect before you begin. Free from the voice in your head that says you are not good enough. So sit back, relax, and listen carefully. Today you are going to learn one of the most important lessons life can teach you. Let us start. But before we go deeper, I want you to do something for me. Take a deep breath. Breathe in slowly. Now breathe out. Good. Now let go of whatever stress you are carrying right now. Let go of the worry. Let go of the doubt. For the next 45 minutes, just be here. Just listen. And let these words work on your heart. The trap of perfection. Perfection is not the goal. Progress is. Unknown. Let me tell you a short story. There was a young man named Adam. He wanted to start a small business selling handmade bags. He had a great idea. He had the skills. He even had some money saved up. But Adam never started. Do you want to know why? Because every time he tried to begin, he would say, "This is not good enough yet." He wanted his bags to look perfect. He wanted his website to be perfect. He wanted his website to be perfect. He wanted every single detail to be just right. Weeks turned into months. Months turned into a whole year. And Adam still had not sold a single bag. Meanwhile, his friend Sarah started her own business. Her bags were not perfect. Her website was simple. She made a lot of mistakes in the beginning, but she started. She learned from her customers. She fixed problems as they came. She improved her bags one step at a time. After 1 year, Sarah had a growing business, and Adam was still waiting for the perfect moment. This is what perfection does to people. It does not help them. It stops them. It tricks them into thinking that they are being smart by waiting. But really, they are just scared. The need to be perfect is really the fear of being judged. It is the fear that someone will look at your work and say, "This is not good enough." And that fear can be so strong that it stops you from ever trying. But think about it this way. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who never make mistakes. They are the ones who make mistakes and keep going. Every day you spend waiting for perfection is a day you lose. You cannot get that day back. So stop waiting. Start doing. You can fix things along the way. That is how real progress works. Mistalks are your best teachers. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. Albert Einstein. Think about something you are really good at today. Maybe you can cook a great meal. Maybe you can drive a car. Maybe you can speak a second language. Now think back to the very first time you tried that thing. Were you perfect? Of course not. The first time you cooked, you probably burned something. The first time you drove a car, you were probably nervous and shaky. The first time you tried to speak another language, your words probably sounded funny. But you did not stop. You tried again, and again, and again, and slowly you got better. That is how life works. Mistakes are not the opposite of success. Mistakes are part of success. They are steps on the road. Think about a baby learning to walk. A baby falls down many times, sometimes 10 times, sometimes 10 times, sometimes 100 times. But the baby never sits down and says, "I guess walking is not for me." No. The baby gets back up every single time, and one day, the baby walks. Then the baby runs. We were all that baby once. We all had the courage to fall and get back up without thinking about it. But somewhere along the way, we stopped doing that. We started caring too much about what other people think. We forgot that falling is not failing. Falling is learning. Let me tell you about something that happened to me. I once worked very hard on a project. I spent weeks preparing. I thought everything was ready. But when I presented it, I made a big mistake. I forgot an important part. I felt embarrassed. I felt like a failure. But that mistake taught me something. It taught me to always double-check my work. It taught me to ask for help when I need it. And I never made that same mistake again. That one failure made me better. If I had been perfect that day, I would not have learned anything. Every mistake you make teaches you something. It teaches you what does not work. And that is just as important as knowing what works. So do not be afraid of mistakes. Be afraid of not trying, because the biggest mistake of all is doing nothing. Divine. The greatest people failed. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. You might be thinking, okay, I understand that nobody is perfect. But what about all those famous and successful people? They seem to have figured everything out. Let me tell you something. They did not figure everything out. They failed more times than you can imagine. Let us talk about Thomas Edison. He is the man who invented the light bulb. Do you know how many times he failed before he got it right? He failed more than 1,000 times. 1,000. That is not a small number. When someone asked him about all those failures, he said something interesting. He said he did not fail 1,000 times. He said he found 1,000 ways that did not work. Think about that for a moment. He did not see failure as the end. He saw it as information. Each failure told him something new. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players in history, was once cut from his high school basketball team. Imagine that. The greatest player in the world was once told he was not good enough. But he did not stop. He practiced harder. He worked longer. He used that pain as fuel. There is another story I want to share. There was a woman who wanted to write a book. She sent her book to many publishers. One after another, they said no. She was rejected 12 times. 12. That is 12 people saying your work is not good enough. But she did not give up. She kept trying. She kept believing. And finally, one publisher said yes. That book went on to become one of the most popular books in the world. What if she had stopped after the 5th rejection? What if she had said, maybe I am not a good writer? The world would have lost something wonderful. The lesson is clear. Rejection is not the end. Failure is not the end. The only real end is when you stop trying. And what about people in everyday life? What about your parents? Your grandparents? Do you think they lived perfect lives? They made mistakes too. They had hard days. They had moments when they did not know what to do, but they kept going. And that is why you are here today. Perfection is a myth. It is a story we tell ourselves. But the truth is, you are already enough to start. Let me share one more thing about failure before we move on. Failure is not a sign that you chose the wrong path. Most of the time, it is a sign that you are on the right path. Most of the time, it is a sign that you are on the right path. Because the right path is hard, tests you. It pushes you. It asks if you really want this. And when you keep going, even after falling, you prove that you do. Think about the people in your own life who you look up to. Ask them about their journey. I promise you, every single one of them will have a story about a time they almost gave up. A time they felt like a failure. A time when nothing was going right. But they did not stop. And that is the difference between those who succeed and those who do not. It is not talent. It is not luck. It is the decision to keep going when everything inside you wants to stop. Stop comparing yourself to others. Comparison is the thief of joy. Theodore Roosevelt. One of the biggest reasons people feel imperfect is because they compare themselves to other people. You look at someone else and think, they have a better job than me. They have a nicer house. They have more money. They seem happier. But you are only seeing a small part of their life. You are seeing the outside. You are not seeing the inside. Let me give you an example. Imagine you are walking through a park. You see a beautiful tree. It is tall. It is green. It looks strong and perfect. But if you dig below the surface, you will find roots that are tangled. You will find parts of the tree that are dry or broken. You might even find insects eating the wood from the inside. That tree is still beautiful, but it is not perfect. People are the same way. The person you are comparing yourself to has problems you do not see. They have fears they do not show. They have bad days they do not post about online. Social media makes this problem even worse. On social media, people only show the best parts of their lives. They show the happy moments, the vacations, the smiling faces. They do not show the tears, the stress, or the lonely nights. I want you to try something. The next time you open social media and start to feel bad about yourself, stop, close the app, and remind yourself that you are looking at a highlight reel, not real life. Nobody's life is as perfect as it looks online. The person posting that photo might have cried 10 minutes before taking it. The person showing off their success might be struggling with something you cannot see. So when you compare your real, messy, everyday life to someone else's highlight reel, of course you feel like you are not enough. But you are comparing two different things. Stop doing that to yourself. Your journey is yours. It does not have to look like anyone else's journey. You are not behind. You are not too slow. You are exactly where you need to be, as long as you keep moving forward. The only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Are you a little bit better today? Did you learn something new? Did you try? If yes, then you are doing great. The power of small steps. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Laksu, many people wait for the big moment. They wait for the day when everything is perfect and they can finally start. But that day never comes. Success does not come from one big moment. It comes from many small steps taken over time. Let me explain. Imagine you want to build a wall. A big, strong wall. You do not build it all at once. You build it one brick at a time. You place the first brick as carefully as you can. Then the next one. Then the next one. After days and weeks and months, you look up and there is your wall. Strong, tall, complete. But it started with one single brick. Life is the same way. Maybe you want to learn English. You are not going to wake up one day and speak perfect English. But if you listen to one video today and learn 5 new words tomorrow and practice speaking for 10 minutes the next day, you will improve. Maybe you want to get healthier. You are not going to become fit overnight. But if you walk for 20 minutes today and eat one healthy meal tomorrow and drink more water the next day, you will feel better. Small steps are not small. They are the building blocks of something huge. Let me tell you about a man who wanted to write a book. He had a busy job. He had a family. He had very little free time, but he decided to write just 200 words every day. That is less than 1 page. 200 words does not sound like much. But after 1 month, he had 6,000 words. After 6 months, he had 36,000 words. After 1 year, he had a full book. He did not write that book in one sitting. He wrote it 200 words at a time, small steps, every single day. The problem is that small steps do not feel exciting. They do not feel dramatic. Nobody is going to give you a prize for walking 20 minutes. Nobody is going to cheer because you learned 5 new words. But those small, quiet steps are the ones that change your life. The big changes always start small. Always. So stop waiting for the perfect plan. Stop waiting for everything to line up. Just take one step today. Tomorrow, take another one. That is all you need to do. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to be moving. Let me give you another example. Think about water dripping on a rock. 1 drop of water does nothing to that rock. 2 drops do nothing. 100 drops do nothing. But after thousands and thousands of drops over weeks and months and years, the water cuts through the rock. The water is not strong. The water is not powerful. But the water is consistent. It never stops. And that is why it wins. Be like that water. You do not need to be the strongest. You do not need to be the fastest. You just need to show up every single day and do a little bit more than you did yesterday. Consistency beats perfection every single time. A person who practices 10 minutes every day will always beat a person who practices 5 hours once a month. Because small daily effort adds up in ways you cannot imagine. Accept your flaws and grow. You do not have to be perfect to be amazing. Here is something most people never learn. Your flaws are not your enemies. They are part of who you are. Yes, you have weaknesses. Yes, there are things you are not good at. Yes, there are things you wish you could change about yourself, but that does not make you broken. That makes you human. Think about a piece of art, a handmade pot, for example. When someone makes a pot by hand, it is never perfectly smooth. There are small bumps and curves and rough spots, but that is exactly what makes it beautiful. That is what makes it special. A machine-made pot has no character. A handmade one does. In Japan, there is an old tradition called Kintsugi. When a bowl or a cup breaks, they do not throw it away. Instead, they put it back together using gold. The cracks become part of the design. The broken places become the most beautiful part. You are like that bowl. Your cracks and breaks and mistakes do not ruin you. They make you stronger. They make you more interesting. They make you who you are. Think about the people you love most in your life. Do you love them because they are perfect? No. You love them because of who they are. You love their laugh, even if it is loud. You love their kindness, even if they are sometimes forgetful. You love them with all their imperfections. Other people feel the same way about you. They do not need you to be perfect. They need you to be real. Accepting your flaws does not mean you stop trying to improve. It means you stop punishing yourself for not being perfect. It means you say, I know I am not perfect, and that is okay. I will work on myself, but I will also be kind to myself along the way. Self-acceptance is one of the most powerful things you can practice. When you accept yourself, you stop wasting energy on being angry at who you are, and you start using that energy to grow into who you want to be. You are a work in progress, and that is a beautiful thing. Do not let others define you. What other people think of you is none of your business. Paulo Coelho. One of the heaviest things you can carry in life is the weight of other people's opinions. When you try something new, there will always be people who doubt you. There will always be someone who says, you cannot do that. There will always be someone who laughs at your dream. And if you let those words stop you, you will never move forward. Here is something important to understand. People judge you based on their own fears, their own experiences, and their own limits. When someone says you cannot do something, they are often really saying, I could not do that. That is their limit. It does not have to be yours. Think about a crab in a bucket. If you put one crab in a bucket, it will climb out. But if you put many crabs in a bucket, something strange happens. When one crab tries to climb out, the others pull it back down. People can be like that sometimes. When you try to grow, some people around you might try to pull you back, not always because they are bad people, but because your growth makes them uncomfortable. It reminds them of what they are not doing. Do not let the crabs pull you back. Keep climbing. You will never please everyone. That is a fact of life. No matter what you do, someone will have something negative to say. So you might as well do what makes you happy and what helps you grow. The opinions that matter are your own. Do you believe in yourself? Are you proud of the effort you are putting in? Are you trying your best? That is what counts. Let go of the need to prove yourself to everyone. You do not need everyone to understand your journey. You just need to walk it. I want to tell you a short story. There was once an old man and a young boy. They were walking to the market with a donkey. They let the donkey walk beside them. Some people on the road said, "Look at those fools. They have a donkey and they are walking. How silly." So the old man put the boy on the donkey. Then other people said, "Look at that lazy boy. He makes the old man walk while he rides." So the boy got down and the old man rode the donkey. Then people said, "Look at that selfish old man. He rides while the poor boy walks." So they both rode the donkey. And people said, "Look at them. They are hurting that poor animal." No matter what they did, someone had something bad to say. The lesson is simple. You will never make everyone happy. So focus on making yourself proud. Excuses that hold you back, excuses will always be there for you. Opportunity will not. Let us be honest with each other right now. We all make excuses, every single one of us. But the question is, are we going to listen to those excuses, or are we going to push past them? Here are some excuses you might recognize. I will start tomorrow. Tomorrow is one of the most dangerous words in any language, because tomorrow never really comes. Every day, it is today. And if you keep waiting for tomorrow, you will never begin. I am not smart enough. Nobody starts out as an expert. Every smart person you know was once a confused beginner. Being smart is not something you are born with. It is something you build through effort and time. I am too old to change. That is not true. People change at every age. There are people who started businesses at 60. There are people who learned new languages at 70. Age is just a number. Your willingness to try is what matters. Other people are better than me. Maybe right now, at this moment. But that does not mean they will always be better. And it does not mean you cannot improve. Everybody starts at different points. What matters is how far you go from where you started. I do not have enough time. You have the same 24 hours as everyone else. The difference is how you use them. Even 15 minutes a day spent on the right thing can change your life over a year. I have tried before and it did not work. That is okay. Trying once and failing does not mean the idea is bad. Maybe the timing was wrong. Maybe you needed more practice. Maybe you just need to try a different way. Failing once is not a reason to stop. It is a reason to try again, smarter. These excuses feel real. They feel true when you hear them in your head. But they are not facts. They are fears dressed up as logic. Learn to recognize them. And when you hear them, choose to move forward anyway. Here is a simple trick. The next time you catch yourself making an excuse, stop and ask yourself this question. Am I saying this because it is true or because I am scared? If you are honest with yourself, you will find that most excuses come from fear. Fear of failing, fear of looking foolish, fear of the unknown, and that is okay. Fear is normal. Everybody feels fear. The brave person is not the one who feels no fear. The brave person is the one who feels the fear and moves forward anyway. You can be afraid and still take action. Those two things can exist at the same time. Do not wait until the fear goes away. It might never go away. Just walk with it and keep going. Be kind to yourself. Talk to yourself like you would talk to someone you love. Brené Brown. We spend a lot of time being kind to other people. We forgive our friends when they make mistakes. We tell our family that everything will be okay. We encourage the people around us. But how do we talk to ourselves? Many of us are very harsh with ourselves. When we make a mistake, we say, "I am so stupid." When we fail, we say, "I knew I could not do it." When we look in the mirror, we focus on every little thing we do not like. If a friend talked to you the way you talk to yourself, would you still want to be their friend? Probably not. Being kind to yourself is not about being lazy or making excuses. It is about treating yourself the way you would treat someone you care about. When you make a mistake, instead of saying, "I am stupid," try saying, "I made a mistake, and that is okay. I will learn from this." When you fail at something, instead of saying, "I am a failure," try saying, "This did not work out this time, but I can try again." When you feel lost, instead of saying, "I will never figure this out," try saying, "I do not have all the answers right now, but I am learning." These small changes in how you talk to yourself can make a very big difference. because the voice in your head is the voice you hear the most. Make sure it is a voice that lifts you up, not one that tears you down. You are going to make mistakes for the rest of your life. That is not a sad thing. That is a normal thing. What matters is that you are gentle with yourself when those mistakes happen. Because you cannot pour from an empty cup. If you are always draining yourself with harsh words, you will have nothing left to give. Fill your own cup first. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. And watch how that kindness starts to flow into every other part of your life. I want to leave you with a small exercise. Tonight, before you go to sleep, think about one thing you did well today. Just one thing. Maybe you helped someone. Maybe you learned something new. Maybe you just got through a hard day without giving up. Whatever it is, say to yourself, I did well today. I am proud of myself. Do this every night. It takes only a few seconds. But over time, it will change the way you see yourself. You will start to notice the good things about you instead of only the bad things. Because you deserve that kindness. Not from someone else. From yourself. You are not perfect. And that is your greatest strength. Let us take a moment to look back at everything we talked about today. We started with a simple truth. Nobody is perfect. Not you. Not me. Not anyone. Perfection is a trap. It makes you wait, worry, and hold back. We talked about how mistakes are not failures. They are lessons. Every mistake teaches you something. The people who succeed are not the people who avoid mistakes. They are the people who learn from them. We looked at famous examples. Thomas Edison, Michael Jordan. Everyday parents and grandparents, people who failed many times before they succeeded. We talked about comparison, how comparing yourself to others steals your happiness, how social media only shows the good parts, how your journey is your own. We talked about small steps, how success is not one big jump. It is many small, quiet, daily steps, one brick at a time. We talked about accepting your flaws, how your cracks and imperfections make you unique. How the Japanese art of Kintsugi turns broken pieces into something more beautiful. We talked about not letting other people's opinions control your life. How the only opinion that truly matters is your own. We talked about the excuses that hold us back, and how those excuses are fears, not facts. And we talked about being kind to yourself, because the way you talk to yourself matters more than anything anyone else says. So here's my final message to you today. Stop waiting to be perfect. You will never be perfect, and that is the most freeing thing you will ever hear. You are allowed to start messy. You are allowed to fail. You are allowed to learn slowly. You are allowed to have bad days. What you are not allowed to do is give up on yourself, because you are worth the effort. Every single day. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. And never stop believing that you can grow. You came into this video as one person. I hope you leave as someone a little different, a little kinder to yourself, a little braver, a little more ready to take that first step. The world does not need you to be perfect. The world needs you to be you. With all your flaws, all your cracks, and all your beautiful imperfections. Now go out there and start. Today, not tomorrow, today. Thank you for watching. If this video touched your heart, please subscribe to Spark and Speak. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment below and tell us your story. Remember, nobody is perfect, but everybody can grow. See you in the next video. Keep learning, keep growing, keep shining. Chan call to action. Spoken. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end. That tells me something about you. It tells me you are someone who cares about growing. Someone who wants to be better. And that makes you special. If this video helped you even a little bit, I want to ask you a small favor. Please hit the subscribe button and join the Spark and Speak family. We make videos just like this one every week. Videos that teach you important life lessons in simple, clear English. So you grow your mind and your language skills at the same time. Click the bell icon so you get notified every time we post a new video. That way, you will never miss out. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message today, please share this video with them. You never know when a simple video can change someone's life. Leave a comment below. Tell me what lesson from today meant the most to you. I read every single comment and I love hearing from you. This is Spark and Speak. Remember, nobody is perfect, but everybody can grow. See you in the next video. Take care of yourself. And keep going.